You know, inside every single one of our homes, there's this invisible battle going on. It's happening right now, day and night, season after season. And honestly, the entire health of your home kind of hangs in the balance. So let's dive into what's really going on. All right, let me ask you a quick question. When you think about the biggest threat to your home, what pops into your head? Is it, I don't know, a big storm? Pests? Well, what if I told you the most relentless enemy is something you probably don't even think about? Believe it or not, it's the battle your HVA system is fighting every single day. Yeah, your heating and cooling system. We all just think of it as, this box that sits in the basement or outside, but it's really the frontline defender for your home's comfort. And let me tell you, it is under constant, relentless assault. And this is where we get to the real heart of the issue. See how fierce this battle gets? It all comes down to one thing: your location, where you live. Your local climate isn't just the backdrop, it's the main villain in the story. And this quote right here, it just nails it. It's not just about fighting the temperature, it's fighting constant moisture, crazy cold, and brutal summer heat, all in the same place. It's like a war on three different fronts at the same time. The system isn't just making it warmer or cooler, it's battling a whole mess of environmental forces at once. Okay, to make this super clear, let's take a look at a real-world battleground, Elgin, Illinois. I mean, just look at this table. It's a place of total extremes. In the winter, you've got temperatures dropping into the single digits, plus those really destructive freeze-thaw cycles we'll talk about. But then, boom, summer hits with a totally different kind of attack. We're talking suffocating humidity and heat that feels like it's over 100 degrees. For an HVAC system, wow, this is basically the worst-case scenario, a perfect storm of stress. So what does this attack actually look like? How does it play out on the ground? Well, let's break down the actual weapons that winter and summer are wielding to tear down your home's defenses. Man, this chart really shows you the year-round assault. Look, in winter, it's a siege of just brutal cold. That forces your furnace to run constantly, which can freeze up its lines, or even worse, crack something called a heat exchanger, which is super dangerous. But the fight doesn't stop. Come summer, there's no break. The attack just shifts gears to heat and humidity. That just hammers your AC, making compressors fail way too early and can even cause mold to grow inside your ducts. It's just a relentless two-front war, and each season has its own brutal strategy. So, let's talk about one of winter's sneakiest weapons, the freeze-thaw cycle. Just think about it like this. Water seeps into these tiny, tiny cracks in your system's components. Then it freezes. And when water freezes, it expands with incredible force. It's like a tiny little demolition crew working on your machine. Now imagine that happening over and over and over again. It literally just breaks things apart from the inside out, especially outdoor pipes and coil. Okay, now for summer's secret weapon. And it's not just the heat, it's the humidity. This number, 70 degrees, is key. When the dew point hits 70, that means the air is just disgustingly full of water. So now your poor air conditioner has to do two jobs. It's not just cooling the air anymore, it also has to rip all of that moisture out. It's like asking someone to run a marathon while carrying a huge backpack full of water. That constant extra load is what literally shaves years off your AC's life. Sooner or later, this invisible battle, well, it stops being so invisible. It starts creating problems you can actually see and definitely hear. These are the warning signs, the distress signals, that your system is getting overwhelmed and is probably on the verge of a total breakdown. Oh yeah, your system will absolutely let you know when it's in trouble. You just have to know what to listen for. Are you hearing strange noises? Noticing the air from your vents feels kind of weak? Or maybe you're smelling weird things. And the big one, are your energy bills suddenly through the roof? These are all cries for help. And definitely watch out for something called short cycling. That's when the system clicks on, runs for a minute, then clicks right off again, over and over. That is a classic sign that your unit is exhausted and losing this fight. Okay, I want to focus on one of these problems for a second because it's probably the most dangerous one, a cracked heat exchanger. Remember all that freezing and thawing we talked about? Well, that constant stress can literally put a crack in this really critical part of your furnace. And this isn't just about an expensive repair bill. This is a huge safety issue because that little crack can leak deadly, odorless carbon monoxide gas right into the air you're breathing. And if you want to see the long-term cost of this war, here it is. It's crystal clear on this chart. Look at the difference. In a nice, easy, dry climate, Your HVAC might last 15, maybe even 20 years. But in a tough, demanding climate like the one we've been talking about, that lifespan gets cut, sometimes almost in half. The climate is literally robbing you of years of service from your expensive equipment. So when your system is finally sending out that SOS, you've got to call in reinforcements, right? But here's the thing. Not all help is created equal. Knowing what to look for in a real pro can be the difference between getting a solid fix and getting taken for a ride. Here's what you should expect from a true professional. It's a clear, simple process. First, when you call, they get someone out there fast, not some vague "will be there between 8 and 4 window. Next, they do a thorough diagnosis to find the actual root cause of the problem, not just slap a bandage on a symptom. And this is crucial, you approve the work before they start. Then, after the repair, they test everything to make sure it's all running the way it's supposed to. And here's your checklist, the real hallmarks of a true expert. Look for technicians who are NATE certified. That's kind of like the gold standard in the industry. They should show up in a truck that's fully stocked so they can actually fix it on the first try. They'll give you clear, upfront pricing with no hidden surprises. And their main goal is to figure out what's wrong, not just push you into buying a whole new system. And most importantly, they give you options. They explain the situation and let you decide. No ultimatums. I love this quote because it just says it all. The real difference between an amateur and a pro comes down to one word: diagnostics. A pro is like a detective. They methodically find the actual point of failure. An amateur, they just start replacing parts until something works, hoping to get lucky. And it's all on your dime. So, as we wrap this up, it really all comes down to this. Your HVAC system, it's the unsung hero of your home, right? It's quietly protecting your comfort, your safety, everything. But after seeing the invisible battle it has to fight every single day, it leaves one big question. Is your home's hero ready for what's coming next?